Hey, good morning, everyone. It is the 4th of May, 2021. It is about 9 o'clock in the morning. We've got 30 minutes before the cash session starts on the stock market. We've got Bitcoin doing some funny stuff. We've got Doge going crazy. We've got traditional markets pulling back. I want to talk about all this stuff. Before I get into any of this, of course, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You are responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, just giving my opinion on the market. We've got lots of commentary going on in our Discord server as well. We've got a whole lot going on. If you want to be part of our Discord, there is a link on your screen. You can check us out at bitdoctor.org. We'd love to have you there. There's a way for you to join our community. There's a way for you to join our insured area. And there's also a way, if you're interested in using the indicator that I use in all of my trading, for you to have access to that as well. All of that is available as far as information goes on bitdoctor.org. All right, let's go ahead and get into the charts. So I'm going to start here with Bitcoin. And I know Cardinal on the server, he is ready for some answers, and I'm just going to string him along just for a little bit here. Okay, so first off, we've got, a pretty decent move up, right, from the lows. We had a pretty decent lows back here. Of course, our waves indicator, as always, said to buy down here, right? We had a good buy signal. We had a little false signal back here a ways. It was right here. Certainly that was, a nice capitulation move before we had a little bit of a, move up. But nonetheless, that 12-hour was still heading down. Then we had kind of all three down there at the bottom at the same time. That, historically speaking, has been a good time to be buying. All right, we had another area right here in an uptrend, right? So we had an uptrend, whereas back here we were already in the middle of a downtrend, right? But over here we had, a good move up. And then this right here, we talked about this. We talked about this in the server, and a lot of people are asking, why didn't you count that spike up as your top? Well, we've got a nice A, B, C, kind of an expanded flat. But moreover, this retraced down to, a pretty important level. So let's just go ahead and just outline this. So we take our dominant pivot low to where I was counting our high, about right there. On this exchange, and actually this is on BitMEX, it didn't quite get there, but on most exchanges, we did make it right down here to this 382. And that was, actually, that marked the bottom, right? We were going for that 382. That worked out really well. Now, we hit that negative 236 extension. We did extend a little bit beyond it. And again, on the server, I was telling people that your target to the upside should be 58,000. And we went up to about 59, right? So up here, we hit just over 59,000. But nonetheless, that was good. Now I think we are going to be going in for a little bit more of a correction. But what's more interesting is this doesn't actually look extremely bullish to me right now. It really doesn't. What this looks like, it looks like more like an ABC. And one of the reasons why I say that is, let's just go ahead and measure this guy from the bottom. And we're talking Bitcoin. We are not talking alts. We are just talking about Bitcoin. We pull this guy down. We only made it to like the 618. And even if we do include that wick to the upside there, it was like almost a perfect move up there to that 618, right? So even if you do include the wick as part of this first move up, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. So, I could count this a number of different ways. But from down here, I can count a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could count it that way. And then, of course, we already talked about the little ABC. If we count it from the top, like if we do include that wick, A, B, C, down here to the bottom, only down to, again, down to that 382. But then, from here, unfortunately, it looks like we've got a 1, 2, right there, 3, longer 4, as wave 4 is usually longer, than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That ultimately does look bearish. I have to look at Bitcoin with a little bit of a bearish bias right now. So what did we just complete, right? So if this is a bearish move to the upside, well, then what we've more than likely got is an A, so 535. A, going down for a larger B, and then we go up a little bit higher, right? So we're gonna have to wait and see. Give it some time. Give it some time, because ultimately I do think that we are going to go a little bit lower. So I would be very careful getting into heavy longs here. We have our 12-hour, which did cross bearish. Let's just go ahead and zoom in here and just take a look at this for just a moment. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time here. Right there, actually, that candle all the way at the almost at the very top, right there at about 58,700. We had a bearish cross on our 12-hour indicator. And of course, it's gone down ever since then. How far has it gone down? If you started from the candle closure, which was right around here, well, all the way down, we're down about 5%, almost 5%. And at one point, I'm sure we were exceeding 5% down. And I do think that we are going to end up going lower. So again, from here, right, we can kind of little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we've got a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have a little bit of a bear flag, as somebody on the server was discussing today. Yes, I do think that this can look like a little bit of a bear flag. Okay, naturally we're going to get some support there, but if we break down below this yellow line, in either direction, mind you, if we break up, well then that's pretty bullish. But you know, my bias is we are probably going to break down from here. Now, the bigger question is, how far are we going to go? How far are we going to go? Well, let's just take a look here, because I'm still interested in catching longs, but I still think that we probably have a little bit further down to go. So if we have 5, and then we have a little wave, you know, 3 waves up, and then we're going to see 5 more waves down, well, let's just go ahead and pull this out and look at this from a fib retracement perspective. Dominant pivot low, and we have a dominant pivot high up here. So I would expect this to come down to the 50, which is going to be right here at about 52,700. Maybe we come all the way down here. Now, both of these levels, mind you, are actually pretty important levels. And what I do, I always look left. So at this 50 right here, 2,700, well, what do you have? Just take a look at this. We've got support here and support here. So this 50 should provide some support. If that doesn't work, if that doesn't provide the support, well, then let's look at the 618. This, again, is your highest probability trade. Now, what do you have here? Over here, we had support, but now we have resistance, which we actually flew through, right? You can see we just flew through this previous resistance. You know, we had a nice spike down and then a big move up. There is going to be some demand here, okay? And there's a couple of reasons why there is demand here. And I'm just going to explain this very, very simply. If you bought Bitcoin down here, okay, down here at about $48,000, and you happen to sell at $51,000, and then you saw the rejection here and you watched it come all the way down, you're like, yes, I'm going to buy lower, I'm going to buy lower. And then what happened? It flew through here. So you bought here, you sold here, you were expecting to buy lower because you were being greedy. So now all of this price action has happened and you're waiting to get back in exactly where you sold. This is how support and resistance happens. This is how these flips occur, because somebody sold here, and more than likely to move the price of Bitcoin, somebody sold a lot. So what are they looking to do? They're looking to get back at least exactly what they had before. So that is how resistance turns into support, because these people that sold are waiting for that price to come back to them so that they can, quote unquote, load back up exactly where they left off. Keeping in mind, they gave up all of this. They gave up all of this. It's part of, you know, it's just part of market psychology. So this is more than likely, it's what's going to happen. We are probably going to come back down to 52,700 or 51,300. That is going to be more than likely where we go. If we get down here to the 618, the trade that I see for Bitcoin is going to be a move from the 618. I'm just going to put this here now for the 618 all the way up here to that negative 236. That's going to be a 21% trade. What's your risk going to be? I mean, I wouldn't risk a whole lot. I would say that if it comes down, see the problem here again, and I'm looking left as I'm doing this. You've got, let's just put this on here. This guy right here, that level right there, that's also going to provide some support. So I'm going to put my stop loss on the other side of that. And then again, if it breaks down below this level right here, I would say, and actually that's at the 786. So I would put my stop loss probably at that 786. That's going to be a 3.77% loss. But again, your risk to the upside, you have a 21.46% trade. So that's 5.7 to 1 risk to reward ratio. That's not terrible. And maybe you have the ability to layer in a little bit. So if you can find yourself averaging in, down here closer to 50,600, that's not bad. But that 618 is going to be really where you're going to be looking for. That's going to be what's going to get you, your 5, almost 6 to 1 risk to reward ratio. So that's what I think is going to happen with Bitcoin. Now, that has nothing to do with alts, which I'm going to talk about alts here in a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take a look at NASDAQ. Because I am very interested in going long at 13,600. And I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain why here in just a moment. All right, so let me just remove this guy. I'm going to remove this one. Okay. So one of the reasons why I'm interested in going long at 13,600, let me just pull this guy down here. All right, so what we've got, we've got this cluster over here, which I'm interested in. I'm interested in that cluster. Just a couple things to note, okay? We've got this cluster going on over here. I'm just going to highlight it for right now. This cluster, in my opinion, is important for support. So catching at 13,600 is going to be right here at that prior support. Okay, so let me just go ahead and mark that guy right there. Right, that's at 13,600. So you can see right here, there was resistance, 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 and then we had some support there. Now, what's your stop loss going to be? So a stop loss on NASDAQ, right, if you are going to play the NQ E-mini futures, or if you want to play the micro futures, it's completely up to you. A couple things to make note of here. All right, I'm looking at an hourly time frame, right? I'm going to go to a daily here in a moment, but I'm looking at an hourly time frame. And of course, on the indicator, you've got the 1 hour, the 3 hour, and you've got that 12 hour, because this is almost a 24/7 market on the futures. Not quite, but it's close. These are all getting down into oversold territory. When was the last time that happened? It was right down here. But we had the 12 hour, which was still heading down. Ultimately, though, that was a great play. A good move up, and then it kept going up. Of course, it went down. What did we have here, though? We had a sell signal that was basically here at the top, right? We had a buy signal here at the bottom. We had a sell signal up here at the top. This is not normal market activity. The choppiness that we're seeing here, we've got a big move up, sideways, big move down, sideways, big move up, sideways, big move down, sideways. And then, of course, it faked you out a big move down. And this is where we caught a long, not on NQ, but on QQQ, and I don't think we bought TQQQ. But anyway, we were buying, and a big spike up, big spike down. It's just not normal market activity. This is being manipulated. But the next area of support is going to be here at 13,600. But again, we're showing a good buy signal here. I do think that in the coming hours, we are going to come back down here to about the 13,600 range. And this is a huge range, but I'm expecting 13,600 to be the important support. I'm going to move to a 4 hour. Then I'm going to kind of inch my way up to the daily. Okay, again, looking at this, and actually, let's see here. Let's look left. Okay, what else do you see at 13,600? I wish I could talk to you guys right now so that we could have a little bit of an interactive session here. We see there was previous resistance. Again, previous resistance. Then there was support. There was support here. There was support here. And then we had clustering right here before we broke up and made new highs. So what do I expect? I expect there to be significant support here. Again, looking at the 4 hour. Let me look at the daily. All right, so we're going to look at the daily, and I'm going to zoom in. And then what do we have? Whoops, excuse me. Let me fix this. All right, what do we have here looking at the dailies? All right, again, prior resistance right there on that daily. Okay, we had some support before we broke down. Then here, you have two dojis right here. So your stop loss, what's your stop loss going to be on a trade on NQ? All right. Well, if I'm going to get in at 13,600, let me get my long here at 13,600. Let's say that's right where my my average in is going to be. Well, I'm going to place a stop loss. You know, I'm probably going to place it preliminarily at about 13,500, right? And we all know that when you're trading NQ, you're really not talking about losing 0.63%. That just means it's dropping 0.63% in terms of points. Now, my upside target, it's going to be up there. It's going to be up there. I want to hold this for a while. Just a couple things I see here. Bollinger Bands, you've got the bottom of the Bollinger Band down here. We're obviously below the 20 simple moving average on the daily. I do think we're going to find some support here based on these two candles. If we close a daily below 13,572, 13,570, I would exit that trade. If we closed a daily below that. But the fact that we had some fighting for price agreement here before we had a big significant move up means that I would expect there to be some support here. And again, we have our indicator that is telling us this is a good place to be buying down here. That 12-hour is getting down there. I do think it goes lower, but I am bullish on NQ once it gets down to 13,600. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's just the way that the nature of the beast works. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I tend to believe that we are going to see a bounce off of 13,600. Okay, so let's take a look at ES. Does the S&P 500 look similar? It does not yet. So in my opinion, NASDAQ is more bullish than the S&P. Now, NASDAQ has moved down significantly compared to, right? So let's just look at this, right? So look at this. So we have this big move up, big move down, and just look at this cluster right here. We're trading below it. On ES, there's the big move down, big move up, big move down, and we're not even close to coming all the way down here to 4,100, right? Because that would be the equivalent for ES to come all the way down to 4,100. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. This reminds me a lot of NASDAQ being Bitcoin and ES being the altcoins, right? In a very loose correlation here. ES has not moved down as far as NQ has. I'm interested in buying the dip on NQ. I'm not interested in buying the dip on ES right now. It just doesn't look good enough at the moment. At the moment, it doesn't look good enough. Now, naturally, they're both going to probably move in the same direction, but I have to be a little bit more bullish on NQ for all of the reasons that I explained in the analysis of NQ. I do want to take a look at some altcoins, right? So I said that I would take a look at Bitcoin, NQ, ES, which I have just done that. Let's take a look at Ethereum, Litecoin, Doge, and Waves, because somebody brought Waves up. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Ethereum versus the US dollar has passed 30, it touched 3,500, right? It got 34.96, almost $3,500 it got an hour ago. And it looks like it's going to push up above there. I want to take a moment and again, just to take a look at this, because right now, would I buy Ethereum? No, I would not buy Ethereum here. But this guy has been absolutely ridiculous from this low. All right, so let's just take a look at this. What I'm looking at here is a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and from here you can count a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then inside of here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this looks good for nice 5 waves up, and then we have this ABC. Okay, so we've got our correction. I'm doing this because if I don't do this, I don't know how far down, or sorry, how far up we're going to go. Like, where is the top on Ethereum? Where is the top going to be? That's what everybody wants to know. A big, big, big move up, and then what did we have? A tiny move down. Okay, so for Ethereum, Ethereum's going to hit $5,000. I've got 4,972 right there. You can see it. $4,972. That would be pretty ridiculous. But what's even more ridiculous is that 2618 hold on, that's the 2272. Let me fix this. Remove that. We're going to take a look at that 2618. Is it possible for Ethereum to get up to, over $20,000? Well, that's the target. I kind of feel weird saying that. But if Bitcoin does make a big move up, I can see Ethereum doing that. I can see money rotating out of all of these altcoins. I want to use different words. Out of all of these altcoins and eventually moving themselves into Ethereum because they have to. Not all of them do, but in some cases you're going to have to move back to Ethereum. And that could fuel a further move up on Ethereum. Okay? So I'm pretty bullish on Ethereum, but once we get to $5,000, guys, be ready, because once it hits that bell, it's going to be like a boxing match. This thing is going to pull back, and it's going to pull back pretty significantly. It would not surprise me one bit for us to come back to $2,500, right? So we're at $34.81 right now. For it to go up to $5,000, it's got to go up another $1,500 from where it's at right now. Very possible for it to do that. It wouldn't surprise me if it did that, because keep in mind, Ethereum hit $1,400. Let me go to a daily here. Ethereum hit $1,400 right here on January 12th of 2018. All right. So we're going to do some simple math here. So Ethereum hit $1,400 on January 10th, 2018. Let's take a look at Ethereum versus Bitcoin at that same time period. All right. So right here, hold on. Let me get this. June 17, January 2018. So it was right around here, right? So Ethereum was at 0.1. We'll call it 0.1 just to keep things simple. All right. Now Bitcoin is currently at $56,052. So what does that mean? If Ethereum goes to just 0.1, what does that mean? Well, I'll tell you exactly what that means. If Bitcoin doesn't move, $56,082.43 times 0.1 puts Ethereum at $5,608.25 if Ethereum goes to 0.1. If it just goes right back to where it was, that's $5,608.25. What happens if Ethereum goes to 0.2 and Bitcoin doesn't move at all? $56,082.43 times 0.2. That would be pretty significant, but that's $11,216 for one Ethereum. But what if Bitcoin goes to where we expect it to go, which we'll just say $82,000 times 0.1? That puts Ethereum at $8,200 times 0.2. Well, there's $16,400 Ethereum. This is how Ethereum can make these crazy prices that make me sound like a lunatic saying so. But I'm going to throw in a caveat here. We are approaching a time where things are very bullish. Nobody believes that cryptocurrency can decrease in value. Everybody is making money, and that can't continue forever. People are going to lose money. People are going to lose lots of money. I would say that if you've been in this space for just the last year, you are lucky to get in when you did, but you need to be very careful, and you need to have somebody that you're listening to that has been through bear markets, that knows what a bear market looks like, that knows what a bubble pop looks like. I've put out analysis to all of the members on my Discord server on what a bubble pop could look like, because we were looking at the Bitcoin market cap versus the altcoin market cap. I'm not going to cover it here, but if you know, you know. So just keep that in mind. We're watching this because right now people are making lots of money. All right, I'm going to take a look at Litecoin, which is currently at $322. We are approaching the all-time high on Litecoin, and we've got a nice double bottom formation here that was at about $25, right? Back here in December of 2018, and then also in March of 2020. Nice double bottom here. So this looks really, really good. Again, 1, 2, 1, 2. This looks a little different than Ethereum, right? This looks a little different than Ethereum. A nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. Okay? So this looks very bullish, and I still believe that Litecoin can go to somewhere between $700 and $1,000, which is still at least twice where it's currently at. I'm going to take a look from this move here. Got this move up. We've got this pullback here. Okay. So we've got this move here, a pullback, and I think we're going to head for that 3618 if we haven't already gotten there. Let me throw the 3618 on there, and that's basically where we're at right now. We already had a little bit of a rejection on there. It wouldn't surprise me for us to get a little bit of a pullback. So I don't remember who it was that asked what the pullback for Litecoin would be. I think we're going to get a pullback on Litecoin. I think that pullback would be for buying. It's probably not going to happen for a few days, though, so you have to be patient on Litecoin because it's going to pull back. It is going to pull back. But for right now, I think it does have a little bit more upside. And I'm going to take a look at this impulse here, this 1, 2. Okay, again, looks like we are approaching that resistance. And then where is the 3618? That's 538. So it looks like, let me just put this on here, see if I can count this from the bottom. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leading diagonal A, B, C into the 2. Then our wave 3, I think, is going to be all the way up here. Then we're going to do a 4 and a 5. Okay? From this bottom, and I'm going to change the degree on these. Again, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To finish that move, again, on a lower degree. So I think that Litecoin is probably going to make its way up to about $500 to $550 before we get a good pullback. But more than likely, it's going to pull back. Maybe it's going to pull back right here to about 320, right where it's at right now. Okay, so I mean, would I buy here? No. This is not the kind of chart that I buy. I buy a pullback. If I were to buy Litecoin, I would have bought it right around here. Let's just go ahead and zoom out. Go to an hourly time frame and just kind of take a look at this. Did we have a good buying opportunity on Litecoin? Most alts were signaling a buy right here in this zone. Litecoin didn't show it, but again, we had a bullish cross on Litecoin when it was right down here at about the 220 range. The last really good buy that we had was right here. Right here about 171. We had another buy right here at about 183. We had another buy right here at about 192. So basically we were creating, you know, a new low, but things were looking very, very bullish. You know, hindsight's always 20/20, but we were interested in buying down here at about 170, and now basically that price has gone almost 100% since then. But right down here, when Bitcoin was creating its lows, I was talking about buying. I'm like, you guys should be buying. You guys should be buying. And so far, this has been doing really pretty good. I honestly wouldn't buy now. I don't think it's a good time to be buying Litecoin. I would, you know, if it's going to go all the way up to that target at, what was it, 530 or so? Yeah, like 530, 535. If it goes all the way up there, then so be it. I may actually be interested in maybe doing a little bit of a short up there if it gets up there, because I think that algo target is going to kick in some selling. I think it's going to happen. All right, let's take a look at Doge. Because Doge, of course, is being completely ridiculous, and it's at 55 cents right now. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay, so we bought Doge in November of 2020. So we bought it when it was 0.002 cents. So it was back here in November. I said, you know, I'm going to buy Doge between 15 and 17 sats. And I have since sold. I have since sold all of my Doge. I sold everything. It was actually right around here. It was at about 14 to 15 cents. I sold all of my Doge, and I'm happy to say that I sold all. I guess I should admit I kept a little bit, but we'll call it my moon bag, which is currently working out. But I sold, I would say, 98% of all of the Doge that I owned, and this is just absolutely atrocious. I can't believe that this is what Doge is currently doing. I don't believe Doge is going to maintain this momentum. It has currently flipped Ripple, and at least I think I said that right. I think Doge flipped Ripple. XRP is now worth less than Doge is. I do believe that this looks like a wave 4 right here. So if I'm going to try and put a count on this, I'm going to put a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. We'll put it right here. Go down for the 4. And then we're going for that wave 5, which is almost done. Doge is going to pull back hard when it does. I'm going to see if I can dig into this here really quick. So we've got a nice 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So far, this looks okay. I'm going to increase the degree on this guy in case for some reason I may want to dig into this guy, because I can count a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, a quick 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending diagonal, kind of a truncated fifth, and then we have our pullback. And if that pullback just goes to right here, well, then you've got a nice, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and then we're working on that wave 5. And guys, it looks like Doge is almost done. It does look like Doge is almost done. I am not planning on selling the last of what I've got until Saturday. When Saturday rolls around, everybody is waiting for it. Everybody is talking about it. Elon Musk is talking on Saturday Night Live. Doge is going to go to the moon. Not after Saturday, in my opinion, right? One saying that we had in 2017 was buy the rumor, sell the news. And I do not believe that this year is going to be any different. Why would this year be any different? Why would something that has already gone up, 5,000%, 6,000%, something ridiculous, things that people would not have expected crypto to do? Doge has gone up, I take it back, Doge has gone up almost 22,000% from where we bought it in November. That's ridiculous. And it's not sustainable, and just be very careful. Be very careful, especially if you plan on holding after Saturday. Be very careful, okay? Let's take a look at waves. So on waves, this has been doing very, very well also. So let me go and find my alert, because I alerted this on Discord about 2 weeks ago. About 2 weeks ago, it was on April 14th? Something along those guys, yes. April 13th, I said, I'm going to buy Doge. Sorry, not Doge. I'm going to buy Waves. And it was at the, I think it was right around here. At the time, it was at 2,400, almost 2,500 sats. So it was right around here. I said, well, okay, the indicators are looking pretty good. We had bullish divergence here. I didn't sell. I'm still holding Waves. And I am interested in selling half. And one of the reasons why I'm interested in selling half is, well, let's just say I bought at 2,400. All right. So for right here, it's currently up almost 200%. It's up 173% from where we bought. I say we because I know there are people in Discord that did buy Waves when I bought Waves. It's gone up almost 200%. So if I sell half, well, my trade is covered and I pull in profit by default. I can't lose money on this trade now. I'm going to continue to hold Waves. I'm going to continue to hold it through probably June or December. If it goes to zero, I still make money. That is one way to survive in markets. Okay? It's one way to survive in markets. So that's what I plan on doing with Waves. I'm going to take a look at Algo, because Foos has brought that up. Morning, Todd. So Algo, let's just take a look here. It looks to me like an expanded flat here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C. I think this looks fine. As long as it stays above $1.31, I'm going to remain bullish on algo. It's probably going to kind of move sideways and pull back just a little bit. Kind of zoom in just a little bit here and just take a look at this. It wouldn't surprise me one bit for this guy to, it looks like it just finished a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like it finished 5 waves up from here, from the bottom. We're bouncing off that 382, but I think it's probably going to come back down here to $1.36 to $1.37. That's where I would be interested in buying algo. And your stop loss, you know, it's going to be somewhere down here to about $1.32, like 131.85, 132. Somewhere down there is where you're going to want to put that stop loss. But I think it's probably going to come back down here to the to the 618. I'm being very patient with mine. You know, I bought this a while back. I'm being very patient with mine. I'm just going to kind of let it do its thing. But I think the algo also has good upside potential. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the video now. It's now 9:35 in the morning, so traditional markets have opened. If you guys have any questions, you know where to find me. If you have any comments, feel free to throw those in the YouTube chat or on the Discord. We'd love to hear from you. And wherever you're in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening. Take care, everyone.